Hello, it's the middle of October now, and yes, I'm in a t-shirt. It's still really quite warm. Yes, the mornings are cold, but once the sun comes up and comes out and warms up, it gets really, really nice. It's lovely. So I know I haven't done videos for quite a while, and I do apologise for that, but life has just been, as I'm sure many of you know, so busy. It's just been completely and utterly manic. So I've been snatching little times to come out into the garden, you know, sort of an hour here and an hour there. So I've actually, believe it or not, I've got a day off today. So I thought I would get out in the garden and see what to do. There's quite a lot, obviously, but what I thought I would do now, because life is starting to get really busy for one thing and another, is that I will do videos every couple of weeks. I'll sort of do updates. So I'll tell you what I'm, say for example, sowing and how to sow those, but just briefly, and then anything else that I'm doing in the garden. So it'll sort of, and then in 2 weeks time I'll do another one, so hopefully you can, I'll do a little update so you can see how things are getting on. So hopefully that will be really, really useful. If you need to go back to see exactly how things are planted, then there are plenty of videos back there. There's no point me repeating them. So that's what I'm going to do now. But I'm going to start digging up the last of the potatoes. If you haven't started to get the last of yours up now, then I would suggest that you get them out of the ground before the first frosts. So I've done all the ones in the buckets, which did okay, which did really quite well. I was pleased, but I am now finishing off the ones in the ground, so in the raised bed behind me. So let's dig one up and see what we find. Now I've already dug these up. Now these were just from 2 plants, so I'm really, really pleased with these. We got some really, really good sized potatoes here. These are Sarpomera. I did chop one in half, but I found its buddy, so that's okay. I'm not going to stick it back together because it won't. But this, as I say, this is just from 2 plants, so I'm going to dig this one up and we'll see what we find in here. So hopefully we will find lots and lots. Now I usually use a fork to dig these up, but I've actually got a spade at the moment. Problem with using a spade is that it's much easier to actually slice through a potato than it is with a fork. But hey ho, I don't even know where my fork is. It's somewhere, I can't remember. I might have left it at somebody's house, but anyway. So these have actually started to sprout again, just because the temperature is still quite warm. It's like spring, but that doesn't matter. That's fine. So the base of it is here, so I'm just going to go about a foot away from it and just push in, pull back and see what we can find. So there's a nice one there. These should just pull off. You might be lucky enough to, as you pull back, that the whole lot will come out. Oh look, there we are. And usually the potatoes will fall off. Sometimes they'll still be attached. Make sure that you take all of them and you grab every single one, because if you leave a little one in there, then it will sprout next year and you will have potatoes growing in the same place, and you really want them growing in another place. So make sure you dig down really, really deep, because they will go down a very long way. Ooh. So I will keep digging, and when I think I've got them all from this one, then I will, oh my good lord, look at that one. There we are. I will come back and show you what I got from just this one plant. Oh, it's like Christmas, isn't it? You keep finding more and more. Anyway, I'll come back to you in a minute. Okay, so this is just from one plant. I'm going to have quite a few potatoes. This is why Sarpomera don't disappoint. I have never had a bad crop of Sarpomera. They're always really good potatoes. I know some people don't particularly like Sarpomera because they're quite sort of dry potatoes, but I find that they're really good all-round potatoes. You can chip them, you can wedge them, you can roast them, you can fry them, anything you really fancy, culinary wise. They are brilliant. So as you can see, they're all fabulous potatoes. They're even suitable for jacket potatoes. So that's just one plant. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 8, about another 10 plants to do. So I think we're going to have potatoes for quite a while, which is good. So I will get along and dig up the rest of those, and then hopefully I'll get those done before it gets dark and I have to go in and start dinner, and then I can show you all of them that I've harvested. Right, so I have got up, or I think I've got up, I'm sure I've left a few in because you always miss some. These are all my potatoes. These ones down here, they were growing in the buckets, so they didn't get as watered as much as I wanted them to, so they didn't quite grow as big, but they still look good, and I'm sure they'll taste absolutely fine. All these ones here I've just dug out of the raised bed. So the Sarpomera elates, late potatoes, you get first earlies, second earlies, mids and lates, and the Sarpomera elate ones, so they clearly do much better out in the open soil. Firsts and second earlies do tend to do better in buckets. So next year I've got 2 different lots. I've got some Sarpos and I've got some earlies as well. So that's those. So I'm really pleased. What I will do with these now is I will put them in the garage, which you need to put them in somewhere that is frost free, cool but frost free. So they will sit in the garage, they will dry out a little bit. I will put a sack over the top of them just to keep them in the dark, because if they are in, if light gets to them, they will start to turn green. So I've got some potato sacks, so I will just lay those across the top of them. When the potatoes are nice and dry and I can get all the soil off, or most of the soil off, then I will do that, and then I will store them in the potato sacks, keep them in the garage, and they'll be absolutely fine. So that's my potatoes. Now I think that's most probably going to be it for today, but as I say, next time when I get out into the garden, hopefully I can do some more. Well, I hope you found that useful, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye bye.